Whiskers twitching with anticipation, Captain Mittens, a ginger tabby of considerable girth, set sail in his tiny boat, the tuna tickler. He'd heard tales of fish the size of his head, shimmering and plump, just waiting to be caught. Today was the day he would prove himself the greatest feline fisherman the docks had ever seen. The sea, however, had other plans. Barely a mile from shore, the tuna tickler began to rock violently. Captain Mittens, never one for seasickness, suddenly felt a lurch in his stomach. The world swam before his eyes, the smell of brine and fish now a sickening wave. He clung to the railing, a pathetic mule escaping his lips. Just when he thought he was going to lose his lunch and his dignity, a shimmering figure rose from the waves. Scales of emerald and sapphire glittered in the sunlight, and long flowing whiskers framed a face both beautiful and strangely familiar. It was Coralina, a mermaid cat, rumoured to be the guardian of these waters. Coralina, seeing the distressed feline, gracefully scooped him from the tuna tickler and onto her own, much larger seashell-shaped vessel. She offered him a concoction of seaweed and fish broth, which, surprisingly, settled his stomach. As he recovered, he found himself captivated by Coralina's gentle nature and the way her tail swished through the water. He told her of his dreams of catching the biggest fish, and she, in turn, shared stories of the underwater kingdom. Days turned into weeks, and Captain Mittens found himself spending more time with Coralina than on his boat. He learned about the currents, the songs of the whales, and the best places to find the tastiest kelp. He even started to enjoy the taste of raw fish. He was falling in love. One sun-drenched afternoon, under a sky streaked with pink and gold, Captain Mittens proposed. Coralina, her heart already his, accepted. Their wedding was a grand affair, attended by mercats, dolphins, and even a few curious seagulls. Soon they had kittens, a litter of 6, a mix of land and sea dwellers. Some had fur like their father, others scales like their mother. Some preferred chasing mice, others loved swimming through coral reefs. They named them Finny, Whiskers Jr., Shelley, Mackerel, Coral and Tide. As the kittens grew, they chose their worlds. 3, Finny, Shelley and Mackerel, opted for the shimmering depths, their tails growing stronger with each passing day. Whiskers Jr., Coral and Tide, however, preferred the warmth of the sun and the feel of sand between their paws. Captain Mittens now had 2 lives. He built a small cottage by the sea, where he could be close to both his families. He learned to hold his breath for extended periods, thanks to Coralina's patient teaching, and often visited his underwater children, sharing stories of the land. He even learned to appreciate the taste of seaweed, though he still secretly craved a good, juicy mouse. His life was no longer about catching the biggest fish. It was about love, family, and bridging the gap between 2 worlds. He was no longer just Captain Mittens, the fisherman. He was Captain Mittens, the husband, the father, the bridge between land and sea. And he was happier than he'd ever been.